Apologize right now. Apologize right now. And while you're at it, can we get an RIP from our boy Orgio right here? And with that said, now and done, look at this dude. Well, folks, the latest chapter of Macadamia, chapter 335, has been released. And boy, this chapter just dropped us a big WTF moment. As it was shown at the end of the chapter, the last panel, we gotta see a silhouette figure of what seems to be one of Class A students, Turo Hagakure, the invisible girl from Class 1A. Turns out to be the UA Traitor that has been talked about since the last few years in the Macadamia community. And if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, well, essentially, since the attack in the forest during the training arc of Macadamia, where the Class 1A students and the Class 1B students went to train with the Pussycats in this summer camp, whatever, there's been some speculation where the teachers of UA High School believe that there's a traitor among someone UA who leaked information where the Class 1A students and Class 1B students were going to be in a summer training ground, as that information was meant to be private and classified. But yeah, somehow the League of Villains managed to find them and attack the UA students. And since that incident, the whole community of Macadamia, the fandom, has been speculating on who was the leaker. There has been many speculation and theories out there on YouTube and other platforms that UA Traitor is someone in Class 1A, like Denki Kaminari. And well, I remember seeing a video of why people say it's probably Kaminari who's the traitor. But in all honesty, I don't really buy that information. And there's other people saying that it's probably a Kirishima, which doesn't make sense at all to me. I mean, Kirishima, him being traitor, there's no correlation, there's no connection of why he is. His own character in the show has absolutely no ties to him ever want to betray UA High School. Other people say it's probably Aoyama because of his creepiness and his attachment to Deku, which I kind of understand and may understand why maybe he could be the traitor. However, don't overlook him just yet. And listen to what I had to say after what I gotta say first. So in this chapter, All For One tells Dabi that he has a lot of friends outside the League of Villains. As he said, he has a lot of friends. It shows Hagakure, an invisible person, wearing a suit with her signature gloves that she'll always wear. As he stated that, it was indirectly implied that Hagakure here is All For One's secret accomplice. Now remember what All For One just said there? He said he has many friends, which could only mean that Hagakure isn't working alone, working undercover for the villain, All For One. Throughout this chapter, we see Hagakure in the last panel. However, we didn't see her throughout this chapter other than the last panel, as Omai was talking to the Class 1A students about American hero Stars and Stripes' sacrifice, and Shigaraki and All For One's plan has been delayed. Hagakure wasn't there, but knew who else wasn't there? Surprisingly, throughout the chapter, Aoyama. Now bear with me for a sec. Let's rewind all the way back to the USJ incident, which happened in season 1 in the anime, as the Class 1A students were spawned across different locations in the USJ incident, while the other students were fighting for their lives and regrouping to fight against the villains who attacked USJ. There were not just one, but two students who were MIA during this incident. And do you know who those two students were? It was Hagakure and Aoyama. And given Aoyama's close relationship to Deku, especially since they're next door roommates in the UA dorms, it ain't that far-fetched for Aoyama also being a traitor, especially when All For One said that he has many friends. And we also know since how influential All For One is, so not only it could be just Hagakure. In my opinion, despite her quirk invisibility, I don't think she was working alone at all while being undercover. There's most likely more traitors that haven't been discovered, which could mean that Aoyama is another candidate. But hey, even if it turns out that he's not the second imposter, it's pretty much been confirmed and without a doubt that Toru Hagakure, all along was an imposter. And whether you like to agree or disagree that she's a UA traitor because she's not that relevant in Macadamia, I think that lack of screen time and irrelevancy just shows on how well this whole UA traitor fits Hagakure perfectly. Now don't get me wrong, there are other students of Class 1A who lack screen time like Ojiro, Koda, Soji, Sato, and maybe even Sero, but at least Sero has some screen time throughout the seasons. However, Hagakure being the UA traitor fits perfectly to her profile. I mean, let's be honest, out of all the 20 students of Class 1A, she has the least amount of screen time. Her quirk is invisibility, and literally her whole body is invisible, which is perfect for someone to remain hidden and to sneak off and not get caught. Like for example, the USJ incident, she was absent. During that summer camp attack where the League of Villains attacked the students, she was absent. Do you see the pattern here? Whenever there's a big event that goes on, she's always the one absent and always the one come out unscathed. And oh yeah, remember that one time before the students went to that summer camp trip, she tells her classmates wouldn't it be a good idea to go to the mall to to buy supplies to go to the trip. And do you know who happened to be there at the same time place that Deku and his friends were there? Yup, you guessed it, Shigaraki. And you know who suggested it? Hagakure. Now, with all those details and clues mentioned in the last panel of the recent chapter that's been released, ladies and gentlemen, it has finally been revealed that Toro Hagakure is the UA Traitor. It sucks that UA Traitor had to be one of the students of Class 1A. Hagakure as a person, I would say, is an open person. She's close to her friends, especially with the females in the UA class, as well as in the beginning of the series, where we kind of saw this dynamic between Hagakure and Odrio, who really is the only male student from Class 1A that Hagakure is close and speaks to whenever it's brought up in the series on the scene. And to be honest, she fits in very well with the UA Traitor role. And well, we just had to wait until next week to figure out Hagakure's motives and maybe even her backstory. But without a doubt, by the next chapter, you'll get more information on this UA Traitor. But until then, this pretty much wraps up the video. And before I go, yes, I know I've been lacking on the videos these past few weeks. Well, I have a solid answer for that, and that's because I'm making a big video that I'm planning on releasing it by next week. It's a very big video, and I've been working on it this past month. Actually been planning it for 2 months now with editing and recording. The video is like 90% done. And let me just say, it's not my usual typical anime or manga review videos. It's something out of the ordinary of this channel. And once it's finalized, I hope you all enjoy it just like you did for this video. And if you do, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more content from here. See you all next time on my next video. Later, folks. A-Kip is leaving the building.